everyone, welcome to another Power Talk with Archana. Today we'll be talking about the revival of the retail sector. FMCG, the fast-moving consumable goods, they are like the walk and vest in our everyday life. Let's hear it from the industry expert, what he has to say about this. Bringing to you my guest, Krishna Rao Buddha. With over 25 years of experience in the FMCG sector, my guest is a marketing specialist. Krishna Rao is the Senior Category Head, Marketing, Parley Products Private Limited. A renowned marketer, a team player, this man exhibits leadership par excellence and is passionate about facelifting ailing brands and making them forefront fast runners. Krishna is a part of my professional network and is based in Mumbai, India. Let's find out from the man himself about his unique, out-of-the-box marketing strategies during unprecedented times like these that made sales at Parley Products soar up, making customer retention not a difficult task. Hello, Krishna. How are you doing?
Yeah, fine. Thank you so much, Archana, for that wonderful introduction.
Pleasure is mine. You deserve it all, Krishna. Thanks a lot for coming on board and speaking to my audience. I'm sure this is going to be one marketing tip for everybody to follow and follow your footsteps. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Great. Okay, let's start this journey. So, we have been hearing a lot about, a lot has happened during this pandemic, People have been focusing on health and hygiene, and this has become quite a norm. Now, with the host of alternate options available, what have been the strategies you have been following so that Parley or your product remains, or for that matter, any product in the FMCG, market, the category should stay on the top of the mind of the customer? What are those strategies?
So first and foremost, the first thought that came to our mind was, this is the time we should serve the nation, serve the people of India, because we have a brand like Parle-G, which cuts across right from the uppermost class, the SEC till the labor class to the working class. So for many people, actually, a brand like Parle-G becomes actually one square meal. Actually, I have seen a lot of people who have dipped Parle-G in water and they have it as their breakfast, lunch, or dinner for that matter. So this is one of the most hygienic food that's available.
Yeah.
So we have a presence in biscuits, confectionery, salty snacks, and bakery products. So the entire range has got a fantastic appeal to the entire audience in the country. So during such time, so we have always been vouching for the health and hygiene aspect of our products. So quality is something which Parle is strongly associated again. So that gives immense trust and faith for our consumers. And during such times, we didn't stop actually. I remember distinctly, it was like 22nd of March, the Janta curfew, and 2 days later, on the 24th midnight, the lockdown was announced and was imposed rather, which was effective from 25th of March. But I must tell you that we did not really stop. We actually instantaneously activated all our channel partners, right from our supply chain, right from our vendors to our various factories, etc. Everyone we sort of mobilized, we sort of motivated them to be active and to start production. So there was a lot of hesitation, mind you, but over a period of time, they sort of accepted and they started work. As a result of which, we really got inspired and we got motivated that this is something that we'll be able to actually carry through very easily. And that is when we also thought of doling out about 3 crore packets of Parle-G to the needy people, to the health workers, to the police people, to the health and doctors, nurses, because they were all stuck up at different places for hours together. Possibly they've not been able to go back to their homes for days and weeks together. So here was an opportunity to give them. So we sort of offered to give these packets through all the governmental channels. So that actually sort of gave a lot of confidence to the entire channel partners within the Parle network. As a result of which, as we progressed through the pandemic, by the time we were in the first and second week of April, things started mobilizing pretty well, and we started supplying actually. So it became, there were lots of challenges we had to overcome, right from procuring raw material and packaging material to shipping the finished goods to the market, and to get this finished goods loaded, unloaded at different points itself was a very, very large challenge. But at every point in time, we sort of overcame these challenges. And the last leg was to ensure that the distributor is actually able to service the market, and that's the last leg. And because even the distributors were quite scared to go out in the market and to distribute, so that became all the more challenging. So we came up with a strategy wherein we said, okay, so we need to maintain all the guidelines sort of suggested by the government bodies. We need to ensure that we are using sanitizers, we are using masks, we are using gloves, etc., and we are maintaining social distancing. So with all of that in place, we sort of asked our distributors to ensure that the market working is taken care by maintaining all those guidelines, by ensuring that all those guidelines are met. The other option was to actually the distributor would do counter selling, wherein the distributor would actually call the retailers. He would have a directory of all the retailers that typically services in the market. So he would just call them and tell them that he's already received Parle G, Hide and Seek, Monaco, Crackjack, Happy Happy. A range is the entire range, and he would ask actually for the orders and actually ask his salesman to keep the stock ready. And the retailer himself would actually come, and he would actually give an appointment that the following day you must come by 9 o'clock. The second retailer would be called at 9:15, the third one at 9:30, and so on and so forth. So there is no crowding, and there is absolute maintenance of all the guidelines. So that's how we sort of service the market. And as a result of which, what we noticed was during such times, so government had actually asked for given a sort of mandate to permit only the essentials. And what came under essentials? Fruits and vegetables, medicines, hospitals, petrol pumps, electricity, water, and then came food products, packaged food products. So we were sort of permitted, and that because we had noticed several shops were going, the shelves of these shops were going empty. There was virtually nothing available because there was a lot of public hoarding and there was a lot of panic buying. So consumers actually were buying anything and everything that was available on the shelf. Absolutely. As a result of it, the shelves were running high and dry. And this initiative from Parle actually started filling up the shelves. The trade across, I'm saying across the supply chain, they were really happy. They were so happy that Parle as a company has been able to make supplies absolutely non-stop. And that has really come into very, very positively from the consumers, and consumers have actually showered their love on these brands. Also, the migrant workers, they sort of, it became an extremely good meal for them, because they started after some point in time, after the first 2 weeks, their patients started giving in, and they started moving out of their respective places to go back to their native. And that is when also this product came, this brand Parle came really into extremely handy to these people, and it really served a great purpose.
Absolutely. This is amazing. The way you strategize the entire scenario and making it available for everybody, the non-stop flow of all the SKUs. I think this is really amazing. I think it also required a lot of team play here. And I think how would you like to describe your style of leadership? Because I see immense coordination here, a lot of teamwork, a lot of new strategies being followed. I am sure you had a lot of things to be juggling between your time, your resources, money, of course, and of course the kind of chaotic environment we all were living in. We still are, with respect to logistics and the regulatory hurdles. I mean, what is the kind of, I mean, how would you like to describe your style of leadership?
Archana, if I were to categorize my style of leadership, I would categorize it to be more of being a very, very participative leader. So I believe in taking my people along with me. So I want to be a part of them. I want to set an example so that it becomes much easier for the team to follow. I just don't want to pass on instructions. So I would want to give an example as to how that particular activity or particular strategy needs to be executed. So it becomes much easier for my team to empathize. Also, it inspires them, and it really makes them feel that this is possible. If Krishna can do it, so can I, and that becomes much easier for my team to follow.
Very right. I think it's very important to move alongside your team, and that is what gets the ball rolling, and that is what motivates and keep them inspired, the team. It's all about, nothing in the, especially when it's about adversities. I think that should never go waste. That is a time when the best of team members come up, and then they develop into good leaders. And it's the time when the leaders can actually help all of them come together and perform their best. Lovely, Krishna. So, I mean, tell us, I mean, what is that one thing that you're really proud of during these tough times, the decisions that you have taken on behalf of your company that has held the fort? What is that one decision or decisions that you've taken, they are good decisions that you're really, really proud of?
Yes. Like I said, so the first thing that we started was with biscuits. So like I said, we have many other categories, but the priority was for biscuits, because biscuits become a natural sort of food for people in general, and it's filling as well, and it's much hygienic and healthy. So my whole decision was actually to mobilize and to motivate my team, particularly starting with my sales team and then my internal team, to actually ask them to start even snacks somewhere down the line. By the second week of April, the team had a feeling that only biscuits were part of an essential, not the salty snacks. So I had to actually clear the filter out of their mind, and I had to motivate and actually tell them that government has not said that biscuits or chips or traditional namkeens or confectionery. So they've just given a word. They call that packaged foods are all a part of essential. So it was our interpretation which was going wrong. As a result of which, initially we had not started salty snacks, and then. So I motivated the team to start production, to start selling of salty snacks, and as a result of which, actually we were, though in salty snacks, we are relatively a small player as opposed to the competition. But despite that, we took a leading step. We took a leading step in the country by being a leader and by being the first salty snack brand to start production and distribution in the market. I'm extremely proud of that decision, and that has really given us fantastic reward, and consumers have started loving even more than before with this step in the last 3 months.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you there. You know, the best of brands, in the industry, in the salty snacks, there was an absolute famine and there was nothing, available on the shelves. And I think with Parle and, bringing in the salty snacks in the market, I think this was a wonderful move, a very, very intelligent move there. Great. I mean, what are your thoughts about how would you like to develop, what message would you like to give to the marketeers today? What are the things they need to work on to make sure that they make their brand stay in the market with their newer and novel strategies? Everybody needs to work today and work really hard to think of out of the box solutions. What are your pointers to these people today, the marketeers, the budding marketeers?
So as far as the budding marketers are concerned, I think so one should not really lose hope. One should be extremely resilient. These are the times one need to really show the courage and the confidence. One need to maintain the confidence throughout, And I think there will be apt time. So there are certain categories which have taken a backseat, and there are certain categories which have been able to mobilize extremely well. So I'll give you an example. Like our own category, the food category has taken off extremely well during these times. But there were certain other categories like automobiles, for example. So they were almost shut for very, very long. But at the same time, the opportunity has opened even for them now. So, Archana, I know of many people who have actually purchased a car in the last couple of weeks, and when he had gone to buy a car in a particular showroom on that particular day, from that particular showroom, there were already 7 bookings that had happened. So, which means one would have wondered, okay, now this is the time when people are not really going to think about buying a new vehicle. But no, I'm telling you, people are extremely wrong, because there are thoughts which people have, saying that, boss, we don't know, we are absolutely uncertain about the future. But if I have some money, why shouldn't I buy a new car? Why can't I enjoy it till the time I'm alive? I don't know about tomorrow. I might be like, yeah, absolutely. And so I'm saying even a sector like automobile has started picking up extremely well. So it's just that, and this is going to be the new normal. So I'm saying categories across categories, there are going to be opportunities. One need to be extremely watchful and see where there is an opportunity and mobilize those. I think that's my typical advice to all the budding marketers. Don't get disappointed. This is a right opportunity. Actually, I tell you, this is the opportunity to hit the nail on its head. And this is the time where there are these smaller brands. I have seen across our categories and many categories, the smaller brands change the tide completely. They have turned the tide completely, and they have toppled the leading brands in the category by doing something very special. By even the leading brands have been scared to do certain things, but the smaller brands, because they didn't have much to lose, and they have been able to capitalize on the situation. And consumers have actually, I'll give you another example. Consumers actually have, because like you rightly said, the shelves were all empty. So consumers were sort of forced to buy whatever was there on the shelves. And I'll tell you, without choice, they had bought. And after consuming those products, consumer has been swearing by its quality. They're saying, why did I not buy this earlier? This is fantastic product. And now I'm going to be a loyal customer for this brand. All this while, this brand was taking a backseat, but now consumers are actually coming forward to support this brand, and this brand has really started picking up in the market. And there are several such examples which have really taken place in the market. So I think the opportunity is immense. Just be watchful and hit the nail on its head, and the success will be yours.
Absolutely lovely. So good to hear from you. I mean, the best of pointers you could have given to these people. I think when it comes to marketing, no marketer should ever think negative. I mean, positivity is the way of life, and a marketing person has to be positive all through. Give yourself and your product a chance. It will definitely sell, because that's what people want today. They're looking for options. You just need to present yourself to them. Very well said. Great. Krishna, also tell me one thing. Would you ever, suggest companies today to maybe limit their SKUs, depending, because, considering the kind of spending capacity of the people today across the globe, it has really reduced. Their choices have become different. So, maybe, offering them a one big basket from a company, and maybe just limiting few SKUs. Would you suggest something like that to the companies today?
So, okay. So there are 2 ways to look at it. So I'll give you again an example from internal, from our portfolio. Just as we started producing our products, that was the time, be it biscuits or be it salty snacks, we focused only on select SKUs, the most popular SKUs. And we asked our teams to produce, because we did not have enough manpower. We did not have enough labor. So government had mandated that you cannot work more than 50% with more than 50% labor. So we had, as it is, a constraint. So we could not produce the entire range. So we decided that we are going to produce only the key select SKUs during such time, and that went in extremely well. But at the same time, As things opened up slightly by mid of May or end of May, when the migrant labor started doing a reverse migration, they started coming back to their original places, workplaces. That is when we sort of got a better relief and we started producing the entire line. So that's one aspect. So for the time being, for the short period of time, we focused on select SKUs because we wanted to drive efficiencies. But as far as your say for example the crisis is concerned, or during this pandemic times, consumers, actually there are all kinds of consumers. I would not really say that you restrict a certain SKU, because typically a brand needs to really have a full length. So right from offering the smallest of SKUs to the largest of SKUs. So in metros, mega metros, consumers are willing to buy large packs of biscuits or salty snacks. They want, because the consumption has really shot up. So consumers are buying actually the large 1 kg packs of biscuits. They are buying the large packs, the 30 rupee pack, the 60 rupee packs of salty snacks, or the bhujiyas, the aloo bhujiyas and bhujia saves, the 1 kg packs of bhujia saves as well, because the depth of consumption is really gone up. At the same time, there are lots of consumers, there are lots of section of people who are mobile, who are actually moving from one place to other. They want the small packs. So they want the keep fresh packs. So they want the 2 rupee packs, the 5 rupee packs, the 10 rupee packs. So there is a cross section of people who have different needs. I'll give you an example. So during this lockdown time, so the entire family was at home, which was very good. And we came up with a communication which talked about, let's catch up with life. So this was a wonderful time, because we are in this really rush world, maddening world, where the husband is running behind his job. The wife is also almost working, or she's engaged in something or the other, or she's engaged in taking care of the kids. The kids themselves are busy going to school and doing their own different things. The entire family usually rarely gets time to spend time together. And I think this was a blessing in disguise. So there was a wonderful opportunity for people to be at home, to develop bonding with the people, with their own family members, a husband, wife, and the children. They all came together. They started spending more and more time together. They started playing. Like various games like Carrom board or Ludo or Saap Sidi or Uno or whatnot. So as a result of which, what happened is the consumption of homemade food. So typically, what was a daily chore of a household? Typically, I'm saying more and more people want to go out. They want to go out for a movie. They want to go to a mall. They want to watch a movie. And then thereafter, they would want to go to a food court or to a restaurant to have food. Typically, going out to a restaurant at least once a week is become a common norm for generally most of the families. So, and at the same, and over and above, during the weekdays, families do not really want to cook, so they order. So there are food aggregators like Swiggy's and Zomato's. So you just order food from your nearby restaurants. So the cooking at home is really reduced. But lockdown increased that aspect significantly. So the household had to make their own breakfast. They had to make their lunch and dinner. As a result of which, the cooking homemade food increased substantially, as a result of which consumers maintained good health and hygiene. One. Second, it does not say kids cannot, or people like you and me, we just can't have only the breakfast, lunch and dinner. We need to really have in between meals. You need to really have salty snacks. You need to really have noodles. You want to have biscuits. You want to have French fries, etc. Whatnot. So those are the opportunities, and that so consumers are actually have started increased consumption. So they started going in for the large packs. As a result of which, my take is, I want to have a full length of the brand, right from the smallest of the pack, which appeals to a certain section of the audience, to the largest of the packs, which again appeals to certain other section of the audience.
Very rightly said. I think everybody has their own requirements, and it's time for us to make sure that we give them a full package. So whoever is looking for what can choose what they would want to, make use of. Great, absolutely wonderful conversation with you, Krishna. A lot of learning out there for all the marketing people, how to strategize their next move to make sure their presence remains in the market and their product sells no matter what. Give me your power message as we wind up this conversation, Krishna. Would you like to give some power message to all the people out there? Because we can clearly see from this conversation, you've really built a strong brand. Even in the worst of situations, it has really come out with smiling, with flying colors. I mean, what is that one message you would like to give to the entire community, the people across the globe? Because this has been one hell of a situation to come out smiling with flying colors and beat the adversities. What is going to be your power message to all of them?
I think it's very simple. I think just be focused and ensure that you are actually working your way to your objectives. If you are focused, if you are confident, if you are absolutely unfazed, I'm sure you are bound to, you're 100% bound to achieve your objectives. I think that's the small message that I would want to share.
Great. Thank you so much, Krishna. Thanks a lot for coming on board and sharing your experience with our audience here. It was a lovely experience exchanging these thoughts with you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Archana. The pleasure is all mine. Thank you so much.
That was industry expert marketing specialist Krishna Rao Buddha for you. Wonderful marketing tips for all of us out here to keep in mind. Point number 1, a marketeer is always positive. Point number 2, make that extra effort to throw your product and launch your product into the market. It will never go waste. Point number 3, stay positive. The people are waiting to have something new on their plate, and it's time for you to offer it to them with all the fancy ribbons you can. Make that special effort. Point number 4, strategize your move. Important to mobilize your team and make them very positive and optimistic about the entire launch. Point number 5, make sure all your channel partners are happy and in tune with what your planning is so that everybody delivers to the best of their abilities. I wish you all the best and hope these pointers work for all of us in times to come. I wish you all the best and stay tuned for more.